Another month goes by, more space on the shelf starts to disappear, but hey, again, these are good problems to have. Let's talk about those book purchases for June of 2021. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Mike back with another book haul. A little lighter this month than usual, but not really. There's never going to be a month, I think, that goes by where I'm like, you know what? I don't need to do a book haul this month because there's always new things coming in, and both from myself and, of course, from you lovely people out there that like to send me some stuff. You are the salt of the earth. I love you guys to death, but I'm going to start like I usually do, guys, and talk about some digital purchases because what do I always say here? Digital purchases count. They do. Absolutely, they count. I went ahead after the urging and the nonstop sales job. This is a person on my Discord always tells me that they blame me for all the money they spend on books. Well, she got me this time. Ashley from my Discord has been talking nonstop about The Warlord Chronicles by Bernard Cornwell. Now, I was interested in reading Mr. Cornwell for two reasons. One, I love The Last Kingdom, the television show, so I wanted to read the Saxon stories that show is based off of. And the second reason, because Mr. John Gwynn, when I interviewed him on the channel, he was saying how much he loved The Warlord Chronicles by Bernard Cornwell. So obviously it was something I was very interested in, but Ashley's just been saying that it is like one of her favorite series of all time. And I love the Arthurian legend, guys. I was obsessed with Lamorte Arthur in high school. I mean, I was just absolutely obsessed with it. That's why I'm really interested in that Green Knight movie that's coming out, because I read Sir Gawain and the Green Knight in high school, and I loved it to death. But everybody else in the class like, what is this weird stuff they got us reading, right? But obviously I'm interested in that. I've heard, obviously the guy has an amazing legacy. Lots of authors look up to him and list him as one of their biggest influences. That was an easy purchase. I couldn't really find a set in hard copy that I wanted that kind of really matched or anything. They had like this paperback set, but like none of them matched, and I was just like, what's the point? So I went ahead and went the digital route because I did have them good old expiring digital credits, and that's why I spent the rest on an author I've never read before, but I went ahead and bought his complete works by Rob J. Hayes. I think Never Die is one that it seems like he's finally getting some mainstream recognition. This guy's been self-publishing for a long time. And what I like about this gentleman is it seems like he writes a lot of series together and then releases, like, I think the series before the one he's on now is he wrote the whole series and they release a new one each month, for the trilogy. And a lot of these do kind of take place in the same universe. There are some that are outside of it, but they're like a first law kind of thing where you don't need to read them all to understand everything that's going on. So I've heard great things. A lot of people have said, each one is a little bit of grimdark, like Grimdark Pirates, Grimdark Feudal Japan, or something like that. It seems like an interesting concept, obviously, but an author that has come very highly recommended, and I'm interested in checking out because you use the G word, Grimdark. I'm usually interested in giving it a go. So if you know anything about Mr. Hayes, please drop in the comments and let me know. I'd love to hear more about it. This is where I said, hey guys, guess what? I am going to be reading more manga on the channel. I did my recent video where I talked about 10 mangas that I want to read here in the next couple years after I finish Berserk. Basically, I am just kind of opening the floodgates. I am interested in reading manga now, so I've been buying up a lot of them. I already have Monster, but I went ahead and picked up Death Note because I plan on doing that one relatively soon. I'm going to be doing Vinland Saga first, but I think Death Note will be the one that follows that up. Obviously, this is a series I think anyone, even people who haven't read manga, have heard of, and they've seen that very famous art. So don't really need very much of an introduction from me, but maybe the next one does. I went ahead and picked up another one. This one was a little lower on my list, but this is Hellsing. And the reason that I went ahead and got Hellsing is because I'm real big into Castlevania. I'm watching the Castlevania Netflix series right now, but I love those games, and a lot of people have said, hey, being the big Castlevania and Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan you are, I think you'd really love Hellsing. And I had, there was a return I did, and I don't want to get into details of it, but I had a promotional credit that it was about to expire. It was about to expire, and I was like, well, shit, what can I buy? So I basically just went through and did some shopping, and Hellsing is only 10 issues for the digital version. There's only 10 trades there, so it was like, okay, These are all in the price range I think that will make it almost down to the cent. So that's why I chose Helsing, guys. I wanted to do some other ones like 20th Century Boy or something that I'm going to be reading a little earlier than that. But those were many more issues and many more expensive. So that's why I went with Helsing. So I got to try to get all 10 of those series. I'm going to have to do some bargain shopping along the way. But that was everything for the digital. Let's move on to the physical a little bit here. Did you know there was a Michael Crichton book I didn't have? Yeah, literally. It's called Travels, and I don't think it's actually a story. It's I think it's nonfiction. It's about I believe with Mr. Crichton, all the places that he traveled over the world, and he just kind of talks about that. So hey. I always say when I read a Michael Crichton book, I would love to pick the man's brain and just hear what he thinks about things outside of his stories. And this sounds like the perfect opportunity to do that. I didn't get this when it first came out. I remember them promoting it a lot when it came out, but I just kind of forgot about it really until recently. But believe it or not, guys, I found this at Goodwill. At Goodwill for $1.50 on hardcover in really great shape, and I said, yes, that's the last Michael Crichton one that I needed to get, unless you count those, those first 6 that I have in collections that I might need to collect. But I doubt I'll be finding those at Goodwill for $1 or whatever. So yeah, the manga thing kind of continued here. I went ahead and picked up Uzumaki by Mr. Junji Ito. This is an author that I kind of like I said with Kentaro Miura, even though if you don't read manga, you kind of knew that name a little bit if you're into the comics scene. And this is one that I was interested in because I want to get some more horror in my life. And I said, I feel like Japan has just been running circles around the States when it comes to horror. And this seems to be like one of the horror classics of all of manga. I think there's like an adaptation of this supposed to be coming out soon, but who knows with these things. But I'm excited to do that in spooky season, guys. That'll be happening in October. So if any of you want to join me, they sell this. It's called a 3-in-1 set, Uzumaki. It's $20 on Amazon for hardcover, and it's gorgeous, guys. I mean, check out some of this art. I mean, it's nuts. And this guy, I was interested alone just off the art, but very, very handsome collection, whole thing. $20. Really can't beat that for a hardcover of any type. You know what costs more than $20? What I kind of spoiled myself on this month. Now, usually I'll kind of set myself a limit. Here's how much I have to spend on books this month, and I'll kind of spread that around and everything. This month I decided, how about I just spend it all on one thing, because this I didn't have a promotional credit for. This one, oh, that's gonna fall. Every episode, it seems like I make this thing fall. Maybe I need to get a better tray over here, maybe. My favorite comic book of all time is Preacher by Garth Ennis. I love this story to death. So they put out this 25th anniversary edition, and it was stupid expensive. I mean, stupid expensive. Worth it, because we're talking, this is like 33 issues and like 2 specials and things like that. And I think the one on the Saint of Sinners, those issues are all in here too. And it's a big, big boy. This is just volume 1. Yeah. So volume 2 comes out later this year. It was still expensive. It wasn't as expensive as it has been. There was a brief price drop on it. It was one of those kind of things I was like, that's still really expensive. But I was like, I feel like if I don't get it, I'm going to regret it, because I don't feel like it's going to get that low again. Now, of course, it'll probably be $20 cheaper next week or something. I don't know. But volume 2 comes out later this year, and it's currently right now, I think it's priced at like $110, which in the grand scheme of things, it is worth it, because if you go through and you buy just the trade paperbacks of these, you're going to be spending more than that anyway. But it's just so hard to drop $100+ on a comic that you already have on digital, But again, favorite comic of all time. So of course I wanted to go ahead and get this. And my God, man, did they know the art? My God, Steve Dillon was a badass. He really, really was. He still is, I guess. I think he's still alive. But if you haven't read Preacher, guys, I would love to do a Why You Should Read on Preacher one day, because again, favorite comic book of all time. So quirky. If you guys watch The Boys on Amazon, this is the same guy. Garth Ennis. This is the same guy that really made John Constantine a household name with his Hellblazer run. He didn't create him, but his run is very, very famous. But I love that comic to death. Favorite comic of all time, hands down. It's not even close. So I was okay with treating myself a little bit, just like you guys were okay with treating me again this month. So let's talk about some of those lovely things that you guys sent to me this month. First up, let me set the stage here a little bit. You guys know that Christopher Rocchio, the author of the Sun Eater series, is on the Discord. And I was kind of talking to him about, hey, what kind of channels do I need to go through? Do I need to just go through you? What do I need to do to be able to get on that list to get a review copy of book number 4 in your series early? And he said, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll submit your name to the publisher. And I was like, okay, great. Well, just let me know what I need to do. And basically, I guess they accepted, because they sent me a crap ton of books. All this is all from what is it? Baen Books, Baen Baen Books. Mr. Rocchio is on Daw. I don't know. I didn't know that that Daw owned Baen. I don't know how all these imprints work. A lot of times I'll be like, hey, this author's up. They're like, yeah, that's all Penguin Random House. I can't keep all that straight, but they sent me a buttload of books. And look, guys, I don't know who half these authors are. Okay, so this is going to be really quick. I'm just going to kind of run down everything that they sent me here. Jerry Pournelle, a couple of books by him. I mean, a couple of paperbacks here. I don't know anything to say about these because I've never heard of half these authors. Catherine Asaro. If you guys have anything to add on these, please do. I feel like I know Louis Bujold. I feel like I know that name because I think when I talked to Jim Butcher back late last year, I'm pretty sure he mentioned that name. That might be where I'm hearing it from. Eric Flint, Frank Chadwick, ring a bell. Tim Powers I've heard of. I think that Mr. Rocchio actually talks about Tim Powers a lot. Says that he thinks that any Stephen King fan will like him. So, Forced Perspectives. Does that sound... You know what? That might be the same one that you sent me before, Mr. Rocky. I remember you sent me a couple of Tim Power books. I couldn't remember which one it was. 11th Gate. This one's by Nancy Kress. This is a national bestseller, it says. So maybe they are. Maybe I just this is where Moy would be telling me I don't do enough sci-fi. Maybe I haven't heard some of these. James Cambia's. I'm gonna go through all of them here, but guys, look, there's everything. There's some trades. There's some more trades. There's paperbacks. Will McCarthy. This is the one that I feel like Mr. Rocky was saying. This guy is writing like the best universe, and no one reads his books. So I don't know if he's just trying to guilt trip me into reading this or not. But I don't think that he would bullshit me about this. So yeah, I thank you so much. I don't know when I would get to any of these or anything, but it's cool to know. I guess this means I've been accepted. So who knows when that nice copy of Kingdoms of Death might be showing up on my door. A couple more things for some viewers here. I got to spotlight this one because Greg here wrote me this really, really nice note, and he has a fantastic handwriting. I don't know if you guys can see that at all. But he wrote a really nice letter about these books by William Browning Spencer. Don't know anything about him. He was just saying it's something that he always really enjoyed. So thank you, Greg, and thank you for the note. I'm not going to go into everything that was written in the note, but really, really nice things that he wrote. Anybody's going to take the time to write me a handwritten letter, I want to make sure that I give time. There's also this wonderful lady named Judy who sent me a card with $5 in it and said, thank you for your videos. Here, the next cup of coffee is on me. So thank you, Judy. You're just so awesome. That's so thoughtful. That was the sweetest thing I think I've ever got. I'm going to do an unboxing here, I think. I just kind of got I got this today when I got to my P.O. box, but there's something called the Nightside series. Pug Shorty? Is that who sent this? Pug Shorty. I should have read this beforehand. Above is the correct order and the books are in. You'll find that the books are short and easy to read. I've always considered this series to be a fun little joyride. See ya on the dark side of the moon. And he wrote down all of the order of the books here for me. So again, people are taking the time to write me these handwritten letters. Oh, there's a mug in here too. And it says Pug, because Pug Shorty. I didn't know there was a mug in here. All right. More coffee mugs. So, hey guys, here, I got this coffee mug this month too. How about this? I should do unboxings more often, huh? But yes, this whole series is in here, all in paperback. But there's popcorn in here, guys. I don't want it to go everywhere. But hey, thank you. Thank you, Pug. This is awesome. Thank you. I feel like I've actually heard of Simon R. Green. So maybe I have. Part of Ace Fantasy Books. I think that's the same publisher that did Dresden Files. So thanks, guys. This is really, really awesome. Thank you so much for being so thoughtful. And I always love handwritten letters. It just means so much, because if I'm kind of getting in touch with you guys, I'm probably going to send a typed letter because I don't want you to see my sloppy handwriting. But you guys rock. Thank you so much. I think it was back in April, a gentleman, I can't remember his name. I do apologize. He sent me the first two books in the Warhammer series of Horus Heresy. And he had told me at the time, he was like, hey, I ordered you the first three. And at the time, I thought it was just a trilogy. Now I learned that there's, I guess, 40,000, and that Warhammer means that's how many books there are in a series. So I had no idea there was that many of them. But he said, I'm sending you the first three. And I got the first two rather easy. And then the third one just kind of like never showed up. So I thought either he changed his mind, or maybe it just got like back ordered. But I did get book 3 in the mail recently from someone else. It was not from Amazon. I forget what publisher it was. It might have been actually straight from the publishing house. Didn't really check the box very well. But I assume it's from the same gentleman, since no one else knew that I was looking for this, I guess. But thank you. I apologize. I don't recall the name. I went back and watched that video, and apparently I screwed you on the name then. So I'm wondering if I ever got the name. So if it's you, please drop in the comments. Let me know. I do apologize for not remembering the name, but the old memory's going out these days, I think, or something like that. So I screwed you over twice on that. I do apologize, but thank you so much for that. There are a lot of people on my Discord that are actually starting a read-along of that series. And I'm like, you guys are going to be doing this probably longer than I do this channel, because that's a long series. I did talk recently about that I'm going to be joining a read-along that someone else is doing on my Discord for The Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. And I said, hey, you know what? I could use a change of pace. I'll join that. I love The Road. I'd love to read some more Cormac McCarthy. And he said, okay, well, this gentleman here, Lockie, said, don't buy it because I'm going to buy it for you. And he did. Lockie did buy this for me. Apparently, I think that's one of his favorite books ever. I don't know if he's actually joining that read-along or if he's just excited that other people are reading it. But basically, everyone tells me that this is the darkest book they've ever read. So I'm like, really? Okay. Interesting to see where you're like the type where you're like just like kind of blankly staring at the wall after you finish. So hey, buckle up. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. So hey, if you guys want to join that read along, we're doing it probably like the second or third week of August. So join the Discord if you haven't, because we would love to have you. Lots of other read-alongs are going on that channel as well. This one is from Cypress, one of my patrons. A lot of people on the Discord were also doing a read-along of Dreams of the Dying. I think this is a self-published book. What's this author's name? Nicholas Lietzow? I don't know if I'm saying that right. I've heard so many mixed things, but this is a beautiful hardcover for an independent release. I didn't even know they made hardcovers in independent release, but thank you, Cyprian. I saw the price tag when they sent it to me. Wow. So I'm imagining that you like this book quite a bit. Like I say, I feel like there's a lot of mixed things on the server. Some people absolutely loved it. I know my guy Petrick over on Petrick Reads, I know he loved it. And other people were just like, man, I DNF'd that bad boy. So I have no idea what to expect. I don't know anything about it except that the people on the Discord were reading it, and Petrick was kind of championing it. And he will do that from time to time, and a lot of people will pick it up for that reason. So thank you, Cyprian. That's very, very thoughtful of you. This one comes from The Crazy Canuck, and this is one of my favorite comics of all time. This is Saga. He sent me the first volume, and these is something that I think I might be doing soon. Really, I did the flash poll thing where I did the for why you should read should I make next, and this one actually came in like the top 3. So I'm excited that more people are interested in Saga, because I would love to talk more about Saga, because this is such a beautiful series, and I can't wait to revisit it because it's been so long. There hasn't been a new issue in 3 years. So I would definitely have to revisit this before I actually talk about it. But this is one of those, it's almost like a manga that you can blow through 10 issues in an hour. You know, it's just because it's a lot of it is just visual. So I saw that series as Star Wars on LSD, you know, with just some beautiful art. So if that's something you guys are interested in, I can't wait to talk to you about it. But thank you, Canuck. That is a very, very awesome gift. I can't wait to get the other 2 to kind of complete that set on my shelf there. There are 2 more, and one of them you know about and one you may not. I did my first like real unboxing on this channel when I actually received this, but I did get the entire box set on hardcover, signed by Michael J. Solomon of the Legends of the First Empire, sent to me by Michael J. Solomon and his wonderful wife, Robin. This was their thank you for me having them on the channel. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Thank you for coming on the channel, you know. But very, very nice people. And I said this even before they sent me this amazing, amazing gift. But I have a full video showing each one of these, kind of what they look like on the inside, stuff like that. But this is a series I am definitely moving up my list to read, because these are just such a sexy edition. And I love Rhaenyra, so I don't imagine that I'm not going to like these. But very, very excited to do that. Just such a thoughtful gift. And to close it off, guys, believe it or not, there's something even crazier than this. This one is kind of been like my bibliophile wet dream for a few years now. If you guys know anything about Folio Society, you know that Folio Society makes incredible things. But they know that they make incredible things because they charge quite a lot for them. And if you don't get them when they're new, they're only going to cost more later because they don't make a ton of them. Well, the Folio Society of Dune is always something I wanted. But like literally, it goes for a few $100s on eBay at this point, because like they are sometimes hard to get a hold of if you didn't get them when they were first released. Well, my good man Theo decided to be my guardian angel, and he sent me the Folio Society edition of Dune, and I cannot explain how just shocked I was, because this is just stunning, guys. I never thought that I would hold this, much less have it on my shelf. This is a beautiful edition. And yes, it's now the 4th copy of Dune I own. What of it? What of it? You know, maybe I'll pick a different one to read out of each time. I am going to be reading this again for the 13th time. Yes, 13th time in September, guys. But yeah, this is the first Dune book I've seen with a map in it. Is that wild? Yeah. So guys, this is just, the art in this is what you've come to expect from Folio Society. Just incredible, incredible stuff. I went through, it has like a nice, I guess like a description what each art is at the beginning of the book. You guys, it's just, I mean, look at that. Duke and Yui. Oh, so beautiful. Guys, this is absolutely amazing. One of the most incredible gifts I've ever received in my life, not just on this channel. So thank you, Theo. I really cannot explain how much this really does mean to me, because like I said, I thought this one was a pipe dream. I thought this was one I was never going to be able to get my hands on. So thank you so much. I cannot say thank you enough, because this is just wonderful. So you are a blessing, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for everything you sent this month. If you guys join me on the reread of Dune, if you drop on the Discord and the reread of Dune before the movie comes out in October, I'll definitely be posting all the pictures and all that kind of stuff as I read along, because it's going to be fun. Just call me Mike Muad'Dib. I'm going to lead you out of the desert when we do Dune again in September. So that was my month, guys. Did you add anything to the home library this month? Drop in the comments and let me know, and I will talk to you there.